We are getting ever closer to this next GTA Online DLC. I mean, sooner or later, Rockstar has to give us some sort of information. But until they do, we're just gonna speculate because that's all we really can do. And today I have some questions from you guys over on Twitter. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right in. The first question we have from your boy Duo. He says, how much do you think the new update will cost? And do you think it's a business attached to it, I guess? So the thing that I'm just sort of wondering is if it's gonna be similar to the Casino Heist DLC, because if you think about it, the Casino Heist DLC wasn't that expensive. I mean, like, sure, you needed to buy the arcade, but the arcades weren't that expensive, at least compared to a lot of the other DLCs in the past. Like a lot of those other previous DLCs, you had to buy way more expensive items. But the Casino Heist, it definitely was on the lower end, which was shocking because we never had a DLC that like didn't require $20 million, you know, or something crazy like that. So I do think this DLC, I'm hoping it's going to be similar to that Casino Heist one, where it's not a crazy amount of money to sort of get into it. I don't think Rockstar want to make it a crazy amount of money because they probably want everyone to play this next DLC, considering they say it's going to be the biggest ever. So the cost of entry might be lower than we're all anticipating. And given that they're doing the construction in the casino, maybe there is no like new business, you know, maybe there is no new property we have to own. I said it when we touched on that casino construction, maybe the prerequisite for this next heist isn't buying a new property, but maybe it's just doing the casino heist and like completing sort of the casino story. That would make it so where anyone could play it theoretically. So at least at the moment, until we do get any information from Rockstar, I am going in anticipating that this DLC won't cost as much. I mean, I'm sure, you know, if you add up the total price, I'm sure it'll be high, just because I would imagine they're gonna have tons of different vehicles and stuff that are crazy expensive, but those aren't really necessary to get into the, you know, the meat and potatoes of the actual DLC. I am hoping that it is a lower cost. If there is a new property, I do hope it is relatively low. If it's not a new property, then that's even better. But as far as how much the cost will be, I am anticipating it to be low. As for a new business attached, I don't even know what they could do. I mean, I didn't think of the arcade, so God knows what Rockstar would come up with if there is some sort of new business that's a front for this new heist. That's going to be another interesting thing to see. Also, because they're running out of space kind of on the map, so it is just going to be interesting. The next question we have from Kale Red. Do you think they'll add face masks, like COVID masks, along with other new clothing in the next update? I've been waiting or wanting them to add COVID masks for a long time. You know, well, by the time... Well, I'm not going to say that, but I would imagine they would. I mean, they like to keep up with the times. They like to add stuff, and I'm sure one person inside of Rockstar's thought of, hey, you know what? Let's add a mask just because. I'm sure people will wear it. I mean, we have all kind of other masks in the game, so I'm sure they will. As for new clothing, I mean, look, I wouldn't mind new clothing, but man, I used to be into the clothing stuff in GTA Online. Not anymore. There is entirely too much. Or there's the menus just drive me insane every time I go into the clothing shop. You spend entirely too long trying to find what you're looking for. So I mean, it would be great for the people who like it, but I'm not at the point where I really care about new clothing. Sean, he says, do you think that any more of the story mode characters will return in a future update of GTA 5, like when GTA 5 Online updates come out, or come to an end to make the game go out with a big bang into the new era of GTA 6? Okay, kind of a big question there. I think all of us would love to see the story mode characters. I mean, we technically kind of already saw Trevor in one of the early GTA Online heists. It would be nice to see Franklin and Michael again. For all we know, maybe that could be their new take on heists entirely. Maybe they connect to the 3 story mode characters, maybe you have, instead of like the loud, quiet, and stealth or whatever options, maybe you have the Michael option, the Franklin option, and the Trevor option. I don't know. Could be interesting to tie the characters in. Although story-wise, I don't exactly know how it would work, because GTA Online is kind of all over the place as far as that goes. But I definitely would love to see at least Michael. I think Michael, I miss him, and I would like to see him return. But I mean, all of them. And even some of the side characters would definitely be great. And like you do mention, it would be kind of a great segue into GTA 6, even though, of course, GTA 6 isn't going to come out for another couple of years. But it would be nice to sort of just get a closing chapter on those characters from single player. I know a lot of us wanted a single player DLC, if not 1 or 2 or 3. But if they could incorporate them and sort of tie up their story in online, I think that could be the next best thing. So, of course, I'd love that. Okay, Sean, with the next question, do you think Rockstar will turn GTA into a VR game in the future? I mean, if they think it can sell them money, or if they think it can make them money, for sure. Rockstar is no stranger to making tons of versions of GTA. So a VR game, I would think that would be something that they'd make. I know VR is not like a huge market, but GTA is definitely one of the few games where I think VR could actually be incredible. WR The Returns, if I said that right, says, do you think we'll ever get a part 2 to Smuggler's Run? I mean, with the way part 1 went, do we really want a part 2? I mean, I think if you ask anyone, the Smuggler's Run DLC was probably one of the weakest ones as far as DLCs on the new consoles. Like, gun running was better, the nightclub was better, a lot of those other ones were better. Smuggler's Run, it makes almost no money. It's kind of a niche update because not many people really fly around the map. So would a part 2 be worth it? Probably not. Although, if they wanted to switch it up and make a part 2 like the Navy DLC, maybe that could work. You know, obviously part 1 was in the air, part 2 could be the sea. I guess that could potentially work, you know, especially if they do add a new island to the game. But I don't know. That is one of those that I think maybe what we have at the moment is fine. And then the final question from I Am Egg. Are you predicting this to be the last DLC for the PS4 and Xbox One platforms? Now, I'm bringing this up, and it's probably going to be the question of the day just because it's an interesting topic to discuss. But in their newswire, however long ago this was, when they mentioned the fact that the expanded and enhanced version of the game was going to be coming out, they also kind of said that eventually the new consoles will only get the content. So like you can see, this is from their newswire. The I guess it's the first sentence. It's towards the end of it though. They say that the journey through the ever-evolving shared world of GTA Online will continue on to the next generation with more new updates, including additional content, GTA Online content, exclusive to the new consoles and PC. Now, they don't specifically mention new updates exclusive. They do just say new content exclusive. But they are, I guess, putting that seed in our minds, like, at a certain point, you're not going to be getting stuff on the Xbox One and PS4. Now, tying it back to the question you asked, if this is going to be the final DLC, I don't think so, only because this expanded and enhanced version I don't think is coming out until the end of next year, so we probably will get a summer DLC on the Xbox One and PS4, but it wouldn't surprise me if next year's Christmas DLC is only for the next gen, or the new consoles, the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. And I am just curious for the question of the day, like, do you want the consoles, the PS4 and Xbox One, do you want them to stop getting updates if it means the next updates are better? That's going to do it for this week's Q&A, though. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for submitting questions on Twitter. If Please drop a video like if you did enjoy. Subscribe for more GTA content. Hopefully we learn some information on this next update sooner rather than later. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.